You big fucking cunt of a host. Disabling screen sharing. Yeah, that's right. I'll bully you into it. So you can go first, so I can have a better idea. But is this what you wanted to do with this? Just screen share it? Did you want to do sound and listen to it, or what? So do you want, like, if you were looking at mine right now, do you want to be breaking it down, or do you want me to like introduce it and be like, I got a bunch of this. Y'all should check this out. Luke, what do you? What thoughts do you have? Like, what do you? How do you want to phrase that? Interesting. Okay, would you want to do this at the end then? And then end it with like put the not because like I think it'll be shorter than we plan on, and then it'll be nice to be like, yeah, so we're gonna fly south, but we'll be posting these to our social media this week, so be on the lookout and give them a listen. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well then, what do you have anything else that we want to throw in? We're gonna talk WandaVision, The Bachelor. We've got my question. Um, I'm trying to think. I feel like I had something else. Well then, let's bump. Honestly, if you haven't seen this week's Bachelor, let's bump that just in general. Um, let's hang on. I'm trying to section it off. I don't know. Here, let me put this over here. So Spotify list last. Yeah, that's good with me. Um, so we're gonna do WandaVision. Okay. No, you're good. I'm just thinking out loud. So we're gonna do WandaVision. Um, I'm fine with just bullshitting like that. I was thinking about how if we have an hour long, like 45 minutes, I think we can get away with no break. But if we have an hour long episode, we'll probably want to break it just to break up, like us talking with some geese. So, no, like I'm fine. We don't have to do like a physical hard break. No, you're good. We don't have to do a physical. I'm looking at the list anyway. We don't have to do a like um like an actual hard break. We can just make sure that there's one in there. I'm just trying to think. So we're gonna do WandaVision, and then we're gonna have this stuff, and then Spotify at the end. So I'm just trying to figure out how long the episode you think it'll be. Um, Oh, but okay, I keep losing my train of thought right when I get to it. The song thing that you wanted to bring up with the Taylor Swift and whatchamajig driver's license. If we want to break right before we do that, because I thought I was going to be sitting down like right now and then listening to them while I got set up. So I haven't listened to them yet. So if you want to break, then I'll listen to them. We can reset and then just go in from there, and then that can be our one break, and that can just be before. Yeah, because then if we can do WandaVision, my stuff, break your stuff, Spotify lists, or like Bachelor, maybe Spotify list, or not maybe Spotify list, maybe Bachelor and Spotify list. Sorry, I'm a little all over the place. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, and that's the thing is like I just want to talk. We haven't talked about this season, so we can be like, I know we haven't talked about the season. We're not going to talk about the newest episode because Luke's behind, but we just wanted to set up our thoughts. So when we check back in later on this season. Ah! Oh wait, no here. Sorry, might be. I mean, my thing is I checked out on the second half. Like literally right now, I'm trying to think about what happens, and I don't know. So we can just be like, oh, it's horrible. It gets so much worse this episode too. I agree. Hang on, let me finish these two texts. Kit, who's Kit? I don't think so. I think she's still there. That's the thing is I don't remember seeing. I don't. Oh, you know what? This episode didn't end with roses. Because remember last week's ended. The one that you saw ended in the middle of the rose ceremony. So this one picks up, finishes that, and then some shit goes down, and it ends again like at a before the rose. So I think the rose ceremony will probably kick off next week's episode. Yeah, I think that's the thing that they're gonna grapple with this year the most is that people aren't as many people aren't sitting down to watch it live as usually, because there's usually like parties and whole like things built around it that just won't happen because of COVID. Um, and so they've already talked about how it's like really low ratings, and I'm just like, yeah, I feel like most people are watching it the next day on whatever streaming service they have, or like after the fact, rather than sitting down live with a bunch of people and watching it. So we can talk about that too. Okay, good. Well, let me see where we're at in mine. We are at 8 minutes for me. Yeah, whoopsies. Episode 11. What time is it? I'm gonna set an alarm for 8. You have your set to alarm, right? Like the noise. Dope. That's so good. Okay, because then mine will be easy. Because I'll just go. I think I hit right at 9 minutes to start, but let's fucking get it. Um. Okay, let me pull up. Where are we at? Here we are. Where are you? Aha! So what happens if I go here? Bro, I guess it works if I can see what you're looking at too. Okay. Howdy, Luke. How you doing, buddy? Oh, I'm hanging in there. Just what? Yeah, I was gonna say it's. I think it. Yeah, it didn't get above 50 today in Austin. Huh? That's wild, dude. Oh, what? Well, I don't work, so I've been doing a lot of nothing after work. Um, um, yeah, I've watched it twice actually. Both the episodes, I've watched them twice since it came out. Yeah, so hit me. Oh, you mean 2 a.m.? Yeah, I mean, I the thing is, I get it because if you think about it from like the Disney, because I don't like it either, but you have to think about it from Disney's point of view. Nobody in like basically if they did it on East Coast time at midnight, then yeah, like a bunch of people like who wanted to stay up and watch it would, but all the people in LA would have what is that like three? They would be able to watch it at 9 o'clock on Thursday night, and so then basically any organic like spoiler free discussion would be blasted by Friday midday before people like right now people probably aren't going into work but they're going to be working and maybe not able to watch it until Friday afternoon. And so by releasing it at a time when yeah like the entertainment writers, all the big nerds that are in California or on West Coast time are able to stay up till midnight and do it, but most of those East Coast time people have gone to bed. They're going to wake up, go right to work, or wake up and watch it, and then if they're at work they're not going to be seeing that shit, then they'll get home and watch it. So that's kind of the way I look at it. At least that would be my biggest concern when trying to plan one of those things. Hmm. See, I felt there was like a bigger push with the boys to own for every episode to like own the weekend on Twitter. Like I feel like I definitely saw stuff rotating through, whereas I feel like Disney, at least with WandaVision, because it's the first show, might be more focused on just getting people into the content, especially with it being so weird. I don't know. I feel like I kind of lost that thought once I started talking, but God, dude, all of its fourth wall though. Ah, but it didn't. But it didn't. But here's the thing, Luke. I know what's gonna happen. I know everything. Dude, the second one genuinely felt like an episode of The Twilight Zone. Like with maybe without the resolution that you usually get, but it definitely like the spookiness mixed with like the folksy, homely. Is that the right word? Homeliness. Or yeah. The radio. Okay, but so anyway, so yes, all of that being said, what do you think's gonna happen? You fool. You fool. Here's the deal, man. She's working her way through timeline, through like different eras of TV, and at least I assume it to mean that like as she is like changing the no you're good as she's like changing those eras as color is introduced as they jump into the 80s and the 90s and eventually into the 2000s and the 2010s, it will reflect her. See, this is where I get confused because it's either gonna be like reflect Vision fully coming back to into reality, like she's brought him from just an idea, and that's best exemplified by like the 50s episodes, the ones we just saw, to like a full Technicolor. He's living in the 2000s now. She just has to bridge him over into our world, or if it'll be her like coming to realize what's happening to her, which is very like the Givery, which I like. I kind of steamrolled you. What were you saying though, brother? Mm. Did you mute yourself on Zoom? Because I can't hear you. Yeah, I don't know who this other. Does it show two of me in here right now for you? Oh, I'm gone. I'm gone. At least on my screen. Okay, yeah, don't. Oh, okay. Well, don't stop your recording because we're just gonna clap back in and pick up on um WandaVision where you think it's gonna go. I was gonna say let's just undo that entirely and we can just from where I was like that being said, where do you think it's gonna go? And then just boom. but the first one was with a different location because I applied at the wrong one. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Um, oh, okay. Um, so Luke, where do you think it's gonna go? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean they kind of the same. I'm most interested, like you said, to see how Vision fits into it all. I think that it's obvious that some force is manipulating Wanda. I don't want to say outright controlling because the big takeaway to me from these two first episodes is that Wanda seems very in control. She may just be like naive or looking through a keyhole, so to speak, and not have the full picture of what's actually going on. Because she like consciously decides to send the sword beekeeper away at the end of the second episode and decides to bring them into the Technicolor phase. You know, she is there trying to hold up the illusion during the magic show and make sure that nobody becomes too aware of the fact that they're both superpowered beings. Like it's very intentional by her, but I think it's almost like someone's using Vision as her blind spot to I don't know. I mean, there's a big theory around the fact that they're having kids, that those kids, there's a storyline where same thing happens. She has kids, and they are used by another villain in conjunction with Mephisto's soul or something to basically manifest Mephisto into the world. And so it seems like that's what they're kind of leaning towards. That's what makes me think it's like it seems too paint by the numbers for Marvel to do that. So that's why I think it's going to be a little bit where something more where Wanda is a little bit more in control, maybe not full out malevolence in a villain, but I think she definitely won't come out of this looking um, like a hero. Yeah, she'll definitely be an anti-hero or like I think she'll show up in an antagonistic role in Multiverse of Madness with Doctor Strange. So, but yeah, I think the biggest question mark that for me amongst all the little question marks is how Vision fits into it all because like Agnes, her neighbor, has that weird fondness. There's some interesting stuff at play in how he'll show up in one scene with his regular face and then show up a scene later with his Vision face, which is obviously because they're alone, but it's just very interesting to see some of the shit they're doing with him. So yeah, I have no idea where it's gonna go outside of that. I think Mephisto's gonna be involved, and Wanda's gonna do some funky shit, man. Yeah, me too, dude. It was yeah, like surprisingly good for like the brand of humor it was going for. Also, can we talk about how this show is surprisingly horny? Like, it's definitely emulating the horniness of the shows that it's basing itself on, but it's like super horny. I was very surprised by that. Um, there's something else I wanted to bring up about that Scene. Oh, okay. So let me ask you this: do you think that this is all some simulated reality that Wanda is conjuring, or do you think that it is real people that she has taken over with some like reality bending space bubble shit to where she has everyone in a bubble and is basically puppeting them into like acting out these fantasy situations? Oh, oh, interesting. I mean, I think you're wrong, but that's interesting. Mm. See, but the thing with Wanda is that the MCU version of her has been hamstrung by the like I don't want to say necessity, but like the need for other characters who are the quote unquote main like cornerstones of the franchises, your Captain America, Thor's, and Iron Man's. They all still need to appear stronger, at least more powerful than her in some situations. And they weren't ready. Like obviously, even with Captain Marvel, who's the strongest out of all of them, they aren't ready to unleash her yet. And that's something that our boy Kevin Feige has talked about in the past. I think that this is where they're gonna blow open her powers. Every time we've seen her, going back to Age of Ultron all the way up to Endgame, she has progressed in power level. Like in Infinity War, she blows up a fucking Infinity Stone, and then in the next movie, in Endgame, when she comes back from being dusted, she has Thanos so close to being beat all by herself that he drops an airstrike on his own battlefield, like on someone where he's underneath already. And so it's like I get what you're saying, but I think that it's the scope of her powers have always been limited in the movies and what they've shown, but that this will be like the explosion of her powers onto the scene in a real way. Because if you like, for example, if you go back and watch what's up, well, I think it's like I think it'll be more nodal roles for everybody if that makes sense. Like she'll be the centerpiece for the Big Bang that'll launch the multiverse, but then beyond that, she'll be involved in her own stories and like Thor and his crew are off doing their thing, and there's a bunch of shenanigans they're getting into, but none of that is related to like what's happening on Earth. Kind of how Thor Ragnarok and like Civil War. I think we'll go back to seeing more splits like that, and see more like we'll see the Earthbound Avengers threat in Avengers, but that won't do anything to solve the big cosmic threat that like Thor and the Guardians are dealing with, or even fucking other multiverses, because there's rumors of Chris Evans coming back to star in a Captain America movie that people would assume to be in like the little pocket universe that he creates when he goes off to live his life with Peggy. So yeah, I mean that's what they all have to say. Yeah, yeah. Back to WandaVision. And her being well, she's like the living embodiment of the reality stone at this point. Like that's where she gets her powers from, and that's she's always in the comics and in Age of Ultron. There's a little bit of it. She's able to warp reality, like give when she's giving people those visions and sends Hulk on that rampage. So it's always kind of been hidden there, but yeah, I think she'll be the jumping off point. Yeah, We shall see. I've been watching a little bit. I've been watching a little bit of this here and there. Yo, we are gonna talk something else here in a second, but have you been watching Name That Tune? It's bad. It's so bad. It's a reality TV show. It's okay, so let me phrase it differently. It's not so bad. It's just the presentation of it, the like way that they have come up with the challenges. It's just all wrong. Conceptually, it doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, name that tune. It is a it's an older TV show that has been brought back, and it basically is one on one. Two people have varying challenges. One is you get like 30 seconds of a song, or you get a clue about the song, and then you have to like guess if you could guess it. It's basically just a reality show built around guessing songs, and it is hosted by Jane Krasowski, who has spun around from playing the bit of the washed up actress who doesn't understand that she's aged past her bit, basically, in 30 Rock, to come all the way back around to be that lady in reality now. So she's really come full circle, but she's tough to watch on it. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, yeah, no, I agree with that. But she's hosting it. I don't know, man. You need to watch it because they have just some weird competitions. They do one on one, and then they have like money that's at stake, but they don't give you a chance to like. Basically, in the first round, you go back and forth, and then if you get something wrong, even if you only get to hear like one note of it, for example, the other person gets to hear all 10 notes and they get it wrong, or they get it wrong. You don't get a chance to come back and like jump them. It's just like what? It's it really seems like they didn't. I will say the one best thing so far is that Randy Jackson is the like is the I guess the color commentary in like the yeah, let me phrase that better. In the like commentator sense, he's the person that Jane is bouncing off of, if that makes sense. Like the not the co-host, but the secondary host. Dude, I like if they let him carry the show a little bit more and either dialed back a little bit on Jane's like because there's so many weird things where it's just like focused on her and I'm like this is not what I'm here for. First of all, I'm here for music. So if you're gonna have a host that takes up this much of the spotlight, they better be a fucking musician. That's all I'm saying. Give me some more Randy Jackson. And the dude's lost some weight. He looks good. He's dressing. He's hot stepping. Ugh, that's it. That's all I got. It's dumb, and I'm disappointed in the potential. You'd think so, or like I've been. Oh, dude, that's the other thing. It's nothing but boners. It's all boners. No, dude, it's all boners. They all suck. Yeah, yeah. No, and like the problem is you can tell that they're deliberately not choosing recognizable songs necessarily, or it's like it's hard to pin down how exactly they're choosing because just based on the 2 weeks, it's a little all over the place, but it's also a little bit of like, oh, you're really only choosing like hits that were maybe you have one or two big hits an episode, and then otherwise, if you're looking at like top 40s, they're choosing in the 20 to 40 range, and so it's just like it's not cheating, but it feels like it, dude. That's the other thing. One of the segments, so they have one segment that is built around playing a song in a different genre without the lyrics, and then you have to guess what it is. And I like that a lot. The problem is they also have a thing, or they have competitions where they have the live band playing the song, and because it's a live band playing that song, it doesn't sound like the fucking song, and so it's kind of hard to discern anyway. And so I'm like, why you have this entire other segment for this if most of the segments have this problem anyway? But so otherwise though, good reality TV. Have you been, well, decent reality TV, enticing? Have you been watching The Bachelor? Dude, Matt's a fucking jabroni. Yeah, he's so awkward. Keep going. You like all the little what? Dude, I don't even. I don't. Uh huh. Yeah, maybe, man. I feel like Matt's a fucking boner too. He sucks. That's fair. Yeah, it's more enjoyable to watch people seem like they're like both genuinely connecting, only to have their hearts ripped out. It's a lot more entertaining because then we all get better connected with it. Oh, we do, but that's not who I want to talk about. Um, I want to talk about one contestant and one contestant only. And I use the word contestant, Luke, because she's playing the fucking game. That's my girl, Victoria. The queen. So that's the thing. She shows up the first night and she's acting. She's like, I'm a queen, and she's kind of acting like a child, which she doesn't stop doing, but you can tell it's more calculated. So, but anyway, so she shows up the first night as the queen. She's acting kind of like, you're like, oh, what's going on here? And then she stays. And then that second episode during the date, she's kind of playing it up with Matt. You can tell that she's figured him out because she's playing every beat, and you can like physically watch him. You can see him being like, oh, you're getting a rose. Like you can see it in his face. And then she shows up with the wedding dress with the garter and gives him a big old fat smooch. Probably whispers something dirty in his ear. And then on top of that, she sees her highest competition for that last rose this week, fucking takes her out, doesn't even question it, immediately runs to Matt with some bullshit made up story that he believes like a dumbass, and then everyone's like, no, Victoria, but you can tell there's a few girls who like kind of like her, and they're like, nah, I respect it. And now in the third episode, which I know you haven't seen a ton of, there's more girls I would say that are pro Victoria than otherwise. Well, so nah, dude, there's a moment in the second episode where someone else is doing something bullshit, and immediately she's like, man, that was pretty rude, right? Or like something like that to the other girls that were sitting around her, and they were all like, yeah, you're right. And so the moment I saw that, I was like, oh, this woman is seizing every opportunity she can to like wiggle in with whoever she can so that she doesn't get bounced out. And after this week, I think my theory is that Victoria is in the final four. I don't know if she ends up with Matt just because I don't know if they fit personality wise, but she's a fucking gamer and she's here to win. Oh, that's the other thing. I think Matt's gonna take like half the girls that are still there into Fantasy Suite. Dude's a little horn dog. Yeah, I also have another theory of bachelor orgies. Oh yeah, yeah. I feel like I've known that girl, but no, of course not. Oh yeah, that's my theory that once the cameras go off, that everybody be having sex. Oh, I think. Well, I think definitely contestants and I think bachelor and contestants for sure, bachelorette and contestants. But I think this season specifically, there's a very likely increase in like. Well, yes, but also the staff is locked in a hotel for however many fucking weeks, like the production staff and like the camera crew and all that. And so I think there might be some steamy interactions between I guess more often steamy interactions between bachelor staff this season because of all the COVID regulations keeping them at the hotel. Nope, I did not. Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah. Oh, 100%. I think you hang out and drink. Yeah, I think you hang out and drink. No, I think it's a week because this most recent episode, someone said something and they're like, "It's the first night of the week. What do you mean?" And they made it sound like rose ceremonies were weekly. So yeah, you get bored and you overthink. Hmm. I Yeah, and it seems like they're getting more creative for sure. I know this most recent episode, our boy Chris Harrison has a big part in planning this date, and also is like, "Yo, I've been talking to our boy Matt, and he knows he needs help like getting out of a show and get more creative. So I'm gonna be helping him with date ideas for the rest of the way." So Matt ain't never done anything in his life. Yeah, I feel like this next one's a pretty run of the mill, like one of the good horny dates being the erotica fanfic writing one. But I won't get too deep. I know you ain't seen it, so I'll wait. Can you pull up the list for me? Are you looking at it? I think Victoria. Um, I think Abigail for sure. I think Victoria for sure. I think. Oh man. Oh, this isn't who's. Oh man. I think Mari. Is she still there? I think Mari's still there. We're looking at different girls. Oh, bro, she's gone. Abigail, dude, right? Fucking bright. Ugh, disgusting. I would hate that so much. There's a second page. That explains why I couldn't find the girl that I was looking for. Okay. Okay, so again, I'm gonna throw out Corinne. Oh, yeah. Damn, yeah, she does. There's so many of these girls though, like look older than they are. Like very few of the 23 or 24 year olds I'm like if I saw you walking down the street, I would assume you're like 26 or 27. I know that they're done up for the show, but still. So here's my final four though. Victoria, Katie, Abigail, and Serena P. That was Vibrator Girl. Okay, I thought so. Yeah, that's my. I'll lock it in right now, dude. I'll put money down on it. I'm gonna write it down too. Bitch, I didn't say Sarah. Fuck Sarah. Oh, oh, oh man. You just don't get mad like I do, I guess. Yeah, you really do. You might change one of your picks after this next episode. Yeah. Oh, I mean, I'm telling you, you're going to. Like, it's literally you're gonna be like, oh, well, I guess I have to. um. Hey. I love it. All right, that's gonna be a cut. Let's roll right into because I was looking at it and it works. We're already like half an hour over in, and so we can go right into our secret questions and then finish on Spotify lists, and we'll be good. So this will where we'll be like honk 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 honk, and then are you ready? Okay, no, you're good. Hit it. You good? I snagged it over on mine. No, you're good. I saw that you were looking down. And I was like ah, and so I just grabbed it. I'm gonna leave it in. No. All right, but are you ready? Yeah. All right, Luke. So I have a special question for you this week, and I want you to really try and be as detailed and specific as possible when you answer it. You have no prep for this, so to counter that and give you time to come up with details that are specific, I'm gonna ask you the question, give you my answer, and then there you go. You'll have a little example. Um, but basically, there's a lot of wild shit that's been happening just kind of around the world right now, wherever you are. And it's got me thinking about something that I thought about a lot in high school, and that was buying some land in Canada for a little escape, like excursion. Excursion's the only word I've come up with, but it's not the word I like. It's basically the question is, what is. Yeah, I'm all prepping. So, what do you. Huh? What? No, dude. Oh, am I doomed? So, no, but it would be good doomsday. Basically, so here's the question before I dive in. Why don't I do that part first? Um, basically, the question boils down to what is your dream or perfect situation where you're off the grid on a little excursion. It doesn't have to be like full on doomsday prepping, but for example, here you go. I would buy some land in Canada or Alaska, secluded by itself. Then I would load up with some guns, some tools. I'll go out to that land, make sure it has a nice little forested area in it. I would build a log cabin out of trees by cutting them down. I would use those weapons to hunt and forage for my food. You could build little coolers in the ground by digging down deep, stuffing all the shit in there, and then I'll just live out there, man. Maybe some power for lights, but no phone, no computer, just like a month at a time every year. Just keep going out there and adding to it. Uh, just what's your dream? Like if you were like to plan a mental, just like a checkout from everything, you could come right back to your life in a month. But you had to go live on the land and like be off the grid, like mental rejuvenation. You don't have to be off the grid or like live on the land necessarily, but like it can't be like a, oh yeah, I would go to hole myself up in like some Airbnb in like a major city, and like it's like, nah, like what you create your perfect little excursion from the world has to be out from away from people. Hit me. Yeah, see, it's like a. Oh, I forget you've been to Africa though a bunch, right? Dude, that's the yeah. See, so it's the dream. Okay, so I don't know what you want to do with that. Just keep it in the back of your head. Maybe one day you get the opportunity to buy some dreamland. I do have one follow up question that I did forget about. It's completely unrelated, but if you would look at your phone, I just sent you a message of a diagram that I discovered today, and I want your opinion on it. So, um, we will post this. Yeah, so we'll post this somewhere so y'all can go find it by the time this episode comes out. But just so you know what we're looking at, it's a triangle diagram. At the top point is the rat from Flushed Away. The bottom right is the cow from Barnyard. And the bottom left is Alex the Lion, who's the only name that I remember from Madagascar. And I was talking about this with Madison earlier, and I know where I fit. Do you know where you fall on this? Okay, well here's the deal. You're gonna be like so we boil it down to I'm 60% barnyard cow, 30% Alex, and 10% that rat from Flushed Away. I like that. I agree with that actually wholeheartedly. So, follow up question: do you think every man we've met and or will meet, or maybe even never meet, does indeed fit on this diagram after the two examples that we've gone through? Because I think the answer is a resounding yes. No, but the fact that you can be, dude, I kind of want to like put this together as a thing and like actually plot where our points are, figure out other people, put together a whole little quiz. Faces. I love that idea. Here's where we fall. Where do y'all? Yes, sir. So, yeah, that really ends my question. I had another topic that I kind of wanted to bring up, but it's something that I think deserves some extra care. Just as a teaser, though, I will read the headline for this article. It's pretty fucking wild. It's you know how Toronto's based out of Tampa right now because of COVID and travel restrictions. So apparently, according to this tweet about a New York Times story, there was already a pro basketball team in Tampa when the Raptors showed up, named the Tampa Bay Titans, whose owner is their leading scorer and their GM used to roam the outfield for the Yankees. So it won't be our content that we're deep diving, but at some point, I think we're gonna need to spend a little bit more than 5 or 10 minutes talking about the Tampa Bay Titans. There, baby boy. Dude, I'm here for it though. If I can support, imagine if for the Mavs every night lacing up was fucking Mark Cuban. He's like, yeah, we just got done recording like 8 episodes of Shark Tank today, man. It was crazy. No investments, a bunch of dumb ideas, but let's go out get this dub. And he just goes out and drops like 30 points, 10 assists, 5 rebounds consistently. Um, well, MJ. I feel like that's all I gotta say to that one. Yeah, I was gonna say Larry Bird because he is technically is he yeah he's old. He had back problems already, dude. But MJ, see, okay, I agree up to the point that MJ functions with anger the same way that Willie Nelson functions with weed. Also, in the same way that they both are gonna flex in front of a crowd, like all Jordan needs is the knowledge that his teammate did something fucked up and he's gonna make him regret it. And that's all he needs. He'll win. He has a basketball in his hands. He knows he's got to put it in that hoop and stop the other guy from putting the ball in the hoop down there. Now, maybe if he's up against like, I'm trying to think. So okay, so that's the question. Is this yeah. Yeah, and I mean he is only 57. We see what fucking Sylvester Stallone looks like at like 74. So it's not like he's some shriveled up old man yet. He's definitely still in not a prime, but have some ability. Now it might be his last game if he blows out both knees, but you know, it'd be a fun tournament. But anyway, so that answers both of my that ends my secret questions for the evening. Thank you, sir. Um, I may have seen one in passing, but I haven't intentionally watched one. No. I mean, I agree, but I'm also like, could we focus on the field a little bit more though? Okay, yeah, but this is what his like fifth year in the league, fourth year in the league, third. Ugh, I want better. I want better. More. Mm-hmm. Hmm. I think Baker because he's a better personality, but I do agree that Mahomes' recognizability would be what gives him the edge. Didn't he get fired for recruiting scandal, even though they are like bad, bad? Oh no, no. Oh, that's it. What a okay. First of all, oh my god. Okay, so what a dumb thing to get caught for. What a dumb thing to do. Because, like, what kid? Oh my god, that's just like I understand that recruiting. Like, yeah, that shit happens at most schools. Like Zion's mom got a house or a car or something real nice when he. Yeah, and so, um, but just like I'm thinking about as a kid, I go to Tennessee and it's like, here's this bag of cash, possible recruit, and it's just like, oh, like I don't have to agree to anything. Like, you're not gonna make me say I like plan on playing here. It's like, okay, well I'm gonna take this cash and go have fun with it, and then not really think about playing here because the team sucks and you obviously are flying pretty loose. So I don't want to get a death penalty levied against me in 2 years. Oh, that's so dumb. Like, like if you're gonna spend the money, at least put the money into like, I, just spend it or it's just use it in a way that you'll know you'll see a more guaranteed return rather than just handing 17 and 18-year-old kids bags of cash. Yeah, yeah, and like which is fine, but it's also like they're not thinking about. It's not like they're gonna be like, oh yeah, that's right, coach gave me this. So they're gonna be like, no, I got all this fucking cash from those dumbasses that I'm not gonna play for. Tennessee is very rarely the number one choice. Like if you're going on a tour, uh, dude, I would definitely pump it through the fraternity system. No, it's not because all that shit already goes on with Rush, and then you'd be able to claim like plausible deniability and like yeah, your players might get in trouble, but ultimately if you can let that reflect on the fraternity first and the athletic program second, then all day. Oh, Yee yee. Lol, I didn't know that. That's fucking funny as shit. See, that's the other thing too is I would involve strippers and prostitutes. That's just the way it is. See, I would, or if I hand him a bag of cash, I would hand him a bag of ones and then be like, my boy so and so is going to take y'all out tonight and have that person take them to a strip club where that money gets like spent frivolously and intentionally to make them feel good about then being with like the team, rather than just going to spend it with whatever dickhead they came to town with. Like, ugh, whatever. I was going to say, was that really close one? Mm-hmm. Dude, it's one of my favorite things. It's so upsetting that I feel like you have a bit you're going towards. So real quick before we get there, I just want to get on a soapbox. Okay, okay, dope. Well, then I want to get on a soapbox real quick because I do feel like the Lakers do it. Um, I think there's a couple other NBA teams that do, but I wish that was something that was adopted across all professional sports leagues and obviously like with the World Cup and shit like that it is. But I think it's such a cool idea. Now when you get into like baseball, when there's teams with like 10, 15, 20, you're looking at the same thing now pushing with the Lakers and with the Celtics, they're pushing 20, 25. That can get to be a little much, so you maybe want to do like big stars to represent or whatever. Find some way of denoting how exactly it breaks down with some of those teams that have just way too many to be like, yeah, look at the Celtics logo and it's just got like three rings of stars around it. Nah. But I'm way down. And to back to your question, I mean, so it depends because should you add, should we expand this to go out to like, what if every season, I'm going to close this so I can look at you while I'm saying this. What if every season it ended and, the champion adds their star or whatever it is? Fuck that. But then there's three other ones. There is the team with the worst record, the team with the worst loss, and then the team with the highest seed who busted out of the playoffs first. Or like some other, what would be the other categories? Then like they have to wear as like a, yeah. Well, no, there's like the ones you add, like there's the stars and shit you add for the championship years, but then there's like badges of dishonor and badges of honor basically that each team gets to add to their logo season to season based on. And so you can have like if like your team was the sack leader, you could have like a busted quarterback helmet next to your logo or something like that. Ooh, I like that. Instead of color rush, you have color wash jerseys. Ooh. So I have a. I guess you wouldn't want to use the Lombardi Trophy. That was the last second edition. But what if because they already do the Super Bowl and Roman numerals. What if somewhere incorporated into your logo, you could incorporate a Roman numeral for the number of championships you've won, or some version of like all the like Roman numeral years that you've won, or like add up all the Roman numeral years that you've won. Something, just something dumb. Because I'm trying to think. I guess so. Well, hang on. Let's put it into practice. So, with the Cowboys logo, the best place to put something like that would be the center of the star. So, would you want in like Cowboys font just the Roman numeral? You said they had five, right, or 10? Okay, yeah. So just the Roman like Roman numeral V in the middle of the star. Like, you think that would be? Because like part of me worries that that would like I think it would take a lot of logo redesigns in some cases. Like with the Cowboys, how can you, unless you do a little star in each of like the gaps between the points? But then what happens when they win a sixth one? So, oh, I see, like listed underneath. Oh, in the middle. Hmm. I don't know. I think. Oh, eh. For them, I would want to do like basically. I think it should be left up to the teams based on the logos. I think the Steelers would be cool if they did because they have like the B stripes. They could just expand their circle out and then do concentric, like alternating, like yellow and black circles or stripes, like one stripe for every year they've won. You know. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Huh. I like that. I like that. We could also do one of those things where it's like, the like look at me, the little wreaths that you will see around like logos and stuff sometimes. You can add one of those for like one of the like the Olympic looking headpieces. So you can add one of those for like if you've won, and then you add symbols or stars onto that based on how many you've won. I don't know because I like the idea of reflecting it in the jersey, and I think that's a lot easier to do. And I think a lot of teams have some jersey that does reflect it, but trying to reflect it in the like current version or based on the current versions of the logos is like it's difficult, man. Yeah, I would definitely want if it's adopted, I'd want every team to do something, but it doesn't have to be like huge, But it's definitely something I want to see adopted across all the leagues because I really like it about the World Cup, especially when you see a team win who already has some, and then they add another, and you're always like, oh, how are they gonna design it? And then it's like, damn, this is the world we live in now. We got a 4-star Germany instead of a 3-star Germany. What? We could be doing that with fucking all the sports teams, but whatever. And nothing to worry about. No redesign problems. Oh, fair enough. But yeah, so ultimately, your answer is a non-answer because I think every team should decide their own. But I think we've come up with some good options for two teams so far. So, bam, bam. What else you got, bro? Let's. I'm fucking. Uh, mhm. Yeah, dude. It looks. I'm so excited. I'm so ready to talk about this. Yep, dude. Dude, you need to look up the poster for it. Dude, nah, this movie looks so good. It is the detective Denzel Washington with the newer, oh yeah, with the newer or new-ish Rami Malek cop, and then they're hunting down Jared Leto, who is just creepy Jesus as fuck in this movie. You can tell that he just rolled right on from Morbius, and I was like, yeah, dog, don't even fucking take the makeup off. Let's go. So I am I'm worried. I don't want to. I don't want to talk about it too much because if we start talking about it, start extrapolating, and start theorizing, we're gonna spoil the movie for ourselves by thinking about what could happen. This is. I think this is a movie that we need to go in blind, but I do worry that some of the trailers might be spoiling stuff. I also think that's by design so that it's like a bait and switch. But I'm very, very excited for this movie, dude. Is it so? It's not based on a book or anything, right? Isn't it original? Because that's the other thing that excites me the most is like there's some really good shit that comes out, especially like detective and mystery shit when it's based on books. But if this comes out and is good and has these three actors in it hitting 100 on a completely original idea, fuck, dude, sign me up for more. Oh, oh fuck. Tell me, dude. I think it's the Facebook integration that probably stops them because they even introduced that like remember like way back in sophomore year of college I had that idea for like basically the party room for Spotify where you can just start a playlist, invite people to it and they can just queue up or play songs wherever. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, so you can do that. So like you're saying, it's obvious that's what they're building towards or what the capabilities of their systems do. But I would guess it's that integration with Facebook early is probably some sort of like non-compete social media deal, because that's the type of shit Facebook was doing and still does. But anyway, I wish that too. What were you saying about Spotify though? I feel like I took you off track. You were talking about how. No, I agree. I think Apple Music had Apple Music and Spotify started at the same time, then I think they'd be in very similar positions right now. It's just the market share that Spotify has and had when Apple Music came out was already so big that even probably like taking a sizable 20% of it away, like Spotify's still king, I would assume. So, Yeah, I can pull mine up. Let's give a quick little intro. I listen to more you disable screen sharing. You bitch. Oh my god. Huh. This guy. I tell you what. Ugh. I'm sure I am. Anyway, especially when I was working, I was listening to more podcasts than anything when I was choosing to listen to stuff. Um, like if I was at work and people were playing music, then I would. But so I kind of had to dig back a little bit into the recesses of my liked shit. So some of this is a little bit older. Um, but the one thing I want to highlight on here the most is my boy Thunder Jackson, who's also my cousin, and he's fucking baller. I think I've got like 3 or 4 songs on here from him. His album came out in like August for reference, and he was far and away my highest listened to artist of the year when it came to the 2020 Wrapped. So if you're listening to this, you've probably heard me talk about him, but definitely go check him out. Even if you have, he's pretty good. What were you saying? My secret plan. Attica is taking over. But other than that, I've got some pretty like wild shit, some back and forth. Oh, this dude, the Last Knife Fighter, I've got a couple of his things on here. He's like an Americana folksy guy. I saw him last March. It was March. I think it was the 9th. So the Thursday. The Thursday before shit shut down, this was the last thing I did. I went with our friends Evan, Katie, Sydney. They had a So Far Sounds in Austin that we went to, and it was super dope. I won a fucking hat from it. But anyway, he's pretty out there. He's a little bit more bluegrassy, a little bit of country, but kind of old school country. So he's pretty dope. But other than that, think about things. Oh, where's that? Oh, yeah, that's some of the newer shit. Devibus, dude, that's one of the newer songs. That one, I think I like it when it rains, Starlight, and Cocaine Country Dancing. That's not new, but it's fantastic. But yeah, I got some newer shit. I feel like it's because their catalog is really wide rather than like shooting them vertical. Because like the song I have of theirs on here is very like kind of swingy and got just a little bit more of like a an R&B vibe, not like full R&B by any means, but it's a little bit more swingy, less of that like Naked and Famous style synthy pop, like airy shit that they started with. Not that that's bad, but I'm just saying like I think they've jumped around because they've also I saw them live and they did a little bit more punky stuff too. They were really fun. I saw them at Bonnaroo and they were on the biggest stage when they definitely shouldn't have been, and it was like 3 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon. Not just because like they're not big enough to pull a like large enough crowd at 3 o'clock on a Sunday to, but it was still fun. Like they were good live. So uh, dude, this new song from them is a fucking bop. Every song from them is a bop, but this one specifically is. Uh, I have one more I want to highlight, and then I'll let you move on to yours. It's the top one. Think about things. I discovered this in March, right around the time that Eurovision the movie came out, and it's amazing. It is like Europop to a T. It's from Dial Freyr, some Icelandic ass name. I think he's actually competed with this song in Eurovision, so that was kind of cool. But go listen to it. It's good shit. So that's all I got. Not all I got. There's more on there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is that new Blink 182? Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just kind of jumped you. Introduce your shit. You want to hear something funny? That top one from the winner. Yeah, just at a glance, I thought that said Wakanda Bowling League. I was very interested. I'm still interested, but just a little bit less so. You can understand. Wow. Wow. Huh. Oh. 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 Wow. I didn't know that. Hmm. Interesting. Ooh. Drugs. Keep going. Fair enough. Fair enough. Oh, just gonna call me out like that. All right, man. Nah, dude. I see how it is. Let's talk some more about Mokita. I guess. Whatever. Tee. Oh no. Oh no. The shuffle strikes again. Rip. Hit me. Ooh. Yeah, I'm going through this. I recognize some like artist names, but I'm pretty lost. I got like three, but I don't think I recognize that Thunder Jackson song. That's what it. Mm, I gotcha. Makes sense. Makes sense. Well, I got to fly south, boy. Oh, that is a good point. Well, I guess we'll have the tunes to go with after we post them on our socials, which is everywhere at Unruly Geese Pod. Is that not correct, Luke? Oh, squawk squawk. Yeah, I agree. I don't either. I don't know.